Drake just did something no rapper in history has ever done. He took a diss track to federal court. And the judge didn't just throw it out, she basically read him for filth in a 38-page document that the whole culture is now quoting like bars. And while he's fighting paperwork, Kendrick Lamar is out here breaking records Drake used to own, turning the biggest L in rap history into a victory lap that will not end. And Drake really thought a lawsuit was gonna fix this? Before we get into it, like, subscribe. Don't miss it, nah. Aubrey Drake Graham. Yes, that Drake filed a 60-page appellate brief asking the U.S. Second Circuit Court of Appeals to revive his defamation lawsuit against Universal Music Group over Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. The brief landed in January 2026 in Manhattan Federal Court, 3 months after Judge Jeanette Vargas dismissed the entire case on October 9, 2025. Bro really lost the battle, lost the lawsuit, and said run it back. Now let's look at the receipts that show exactly why this keeps backfiring. Let's start with the judge herself, because this is where the story gets nasty. On October 9, 2025, U.S. District Judge Jeanette Vargas dropped a 38-page ruling and wrote, "The issue in this case is whether Not Like Us can reasonably be understood to convey as a factual matter that Drake is a pedophile, or that he has engaged in sexual relations with minors. In light of the overall context in which the statements in the recording were made, the court holds that it cannot." When I first read that, I had to sit down. A federal judge on the record in an official court document, explaining why the biggest diss track ever made doesn't legally count as defamation. That's not a blog post. That's not a podcast take. That's the United States federal judiciary weighing in on a rap beef, and they sided with Kendrick Lamar, K. himself, without Kendrick even being named in the lawsuit. Let that sink in. But wait, it gets worse for Drizzy. Vargas wrote that the broader context of the song was a heated rap battle, with incendiary language and offensive accusations hurled by both participants, and that it would not incline the reasonable listener to believe that Not Like Us imparts verifiable facts. In plain English, the judge said, "Y'all were both talking crazy, that's what a battle is, and nobody reasonable heard that hook and thought it was a court document." That's the judge telling Drake what the whole culture already told him. You provoked this, you participated in this, and now you're crying about it. Now here's the receipt that made me say "age" out loud. The judge pointed at Drake's own song. On tailor-made freestyle back in April 2024, Drake used an AI-generated Tupac voice to taunt Kendrick, and the track literally suggested, "Talk about him leaking young girls, that's a gift from me." Judge Vargas wrote, "It is in this context in which such lyrics as say Drake, I hear you like him young must be assessed." The similarity in the wording suggests strongly that this line is a direct callback to Drake's lyrics in the prior song. Bro said what? Drake allegedly handed Kendrick the angle, on record, with an AI ghost of Tupac, and a federal judge wrote it down as legal precedent. That's the dumbest cell phone I've ever seen documented by the government. And UMG? They didn't hold back either. In their motion to dismiss, the label's lawyers wrote, "Plaintiff, one of the most successful recording artists of all time, lost a rap battle that he provoked and in which he willingly participated. Instead of accepting the loss like the unbothered rap artist he often claims to be, he has sued his own record label in a misguided attempt to salve his wounds." When I read "salve his wounds," I screamed. His own label, their artist, their moneymaker for over a decade, publicly called him a sore loser in legal filings. After the dismissal, a UMG spokesperson doubled down. "From the outset, this lawsuit was an affront to all artists and their creative expression, and never should have seen the light of day. An affront to all artists." They said that about Drake, the sixth god, the guy who reportedly re-signed with them for a deal rumored to be worth hundreds of millions. Now Drake's side, because y'all know I bring all the receipts. His appeal brief, 60 pages, filed January 2026, argues that Not Like Us states as an unambiguous matter of fact that he is a certified pedophile, and that UMG relentlessly marketed the song in a way that misled consumers. His lawyers claim the lower court created what they call a dangerous categorical rule, arguing the court effectively created an unprecedented and overbroad categorical rule that statements in rap diss tracks can never constitute statements of fact. His team says this should go to a jury, not get thrown out at the pleading stage. A Drake spokesperson told reporters they look forward to the Court of Appeals reviewing it. "Look, I get the legal theory, I do, but when your whole career was built on I'm unbothered. Filing appeal after appeal over a song is the most bothered behavior imaginable. One more receipt and this one's a dagger." Remember, Drake never sued Kendrick. Not once. His lawyers explicitly stated in filings that the case is against the label, not the artist. He sued the company that distributes both of them. Meanwhile, per BBC's reporting on October 10, 2025, the judge also noted that Drake himself had heavily implied Kendrick was a domestic abuser on Family Matters, and rapped that he heard one of Lamar's sons may not be biologically his. So the accusations flowed both ways. The judge said that out loud too, and only one side ran to the courthouse. Now that we got the quotes, let's connect the dots. Okay, so here's the timeline nobody lays out in order, and when you see it stacked, Drake's strategy looks even more confusing. Check the sequence. March 2024. Kendrick hops on like that, with Future and Metro Boomin, and dismisses the whole Big Three idea from Drake and J. Cole's first-person shooter. April 2024. Drake fires back with Push-Ups, and that AI track we just talked about. May 3, 2024. Drake drops Family Matters, with the domestic abuse insinuations and the paternity claims. Within roughly 48 hours, Kendrick answered with Meet the Grahams, a 6-minute open letter allegedly addressing Drake's family member by family member, and then Not Like Us on May 4th. Drake tried one more time with The Heart Part 6 on May 5th, and after that, silence. The battle was over in a weekend. Now here's what y'all didn't notice. That judge's ruling? It called this the most infamous rap battle in the genre's history, and a war of words that was the subject of substantial media scrutiny and online discourse. A federal judge immortalized the beef in the court record of the Southern District of New York. When historians write about this era, they're not citing blogs, they're citing a dismissal order. The very lawsuit Drake filed to erase the humiliation is the thing that made the humiliation permanent and official. We all saw this coming except one person. And the timeline after the battle is where Drake's decisions get genuinely baffling. June 19, 2024. Juneteenth. Kendrick does the pop out in LA and performs Not Like Us multiple times in a row while the crowd screams every word. Allegedly the first time in history a man got lyrically executed and his rival did an encore of the execution. Then what does Drake do? January 15, 2025. He files the lawsuit against UMG, right before the two biggest stages in American entertainment. Because here's the part that feels like a movie. February 2, 2025. Not Like Us wins 5 Grammys including Record of the Year and Song of the Year, with Kendrick dedicating the big one to Los Angeles. 7 days later, February 9, 2025, Kendrick performs it at the Super Bowl 59 halftime show in New Orleans. Serena Williams, Drake's ex, crip walking on that stage, in front of one of the biggest TV audiences on the planet. And Drake's response? His lawyers reportedly amended the lawsuit to add the Super Bowl and the Grammys as more evidence of defamation. He literally tried to make the biggest cultural moments of Kendrick's life into exhibits. Any smart advisor would have said let it die. But clearly nobody around Drake says no to Drake. Then the tour numbers dropped, and this is where the business context gets brutal. Kendrick and SZA's Grand National Tour kicked off April 19, 2025 in Minneapolis. The Seattle show reportedly pulled $14.811 million from 60,941 tickets, the highest-grossing hip-hop concert ever at that point. Billboard declared it the highest-grossing co-headlining tour of all time after the North American leg. $256.4 million, 1.1 million tickets. Then, per XXL and multiple outlets in November 2025, the reported total crossed $332.1 million, surpassing Drake's It's All a Blur tour as the highest-grossing hip-hop tour in history. Read that again. The record Drake held, the touring crown, the thing his whole I'm the biggest argument rested on gone. While he was in court arguing a song hurt his reputation, Kendrick was outgrossing him in stadiums. So Drake sued his label, lost, appealed, and lost the tour record all within 10 months? That's not strategy, bruh. That's spiraling with lawyers on retainer. And the relationship context makes it even stickier. Drake and Kendrick share UMG, same parent company, same distribution machine, reportedly competing for the same internal marketing muscle for years. Industry people have whispered forever about tension over who gets priority inside that building. So when Drake sued UMG, he wasn't just suing a label. He was suing the house that built him, accusing his own partners of rigging the game for their other superstar. UMG's public response literally ended with them saying they look forward to continuing our work successfully promoting Drake's music and investing in his career. Corporate speak for, we still own a piece of your catalog, behave. That's when you know the power dynamic shifted. His label is talking to him like a valued employee, not the boss of the building. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Now check this out. Nobody's really talking about what the appeal brief accidentally admits. Zoom into one phrase Drake's lawyers keep leaning on. Unambiguous matter of fact. Think about what arguing that requires. For Drake to win, his legal team has to convince appeals judges that when the entire planet heard that hook, they understood it as a literal verifiable accusation, not battle rap hyperbole. which means Drake's whole case depends on proving the entire world took the most disrespectful interpretation possible. He's literally paying lawyers to argue in writing forever that millions of people heard that song and believe the absolute worst about him. To win the case, he has to maximize his own humiliation in the legal record. And Drake's team really didn't see the trap in that? That's embarrassing. Any strategist catches that in the first meeting. The judge's callback finding. Zoom into the phrase direct callback. Vargas didn't just dismiss the case, she built a logical chain. Drake's AI track allegedly fed Kendrick the exact angle. Kendrick's most infamous line mirrors that angle almost word for word. Therefore, a reasonable listener hears it as a response in a war, not journalism. Do y'all understand what that means? The legal shield protecting Not Like Us was forged by Drake himself. His own lyrics became Kendrick's legal armor. And here's the kicker, if the appeal somehow wins and this goes to trial, that AI Tupac track becomes Exhibit A. Discovery. Depositions. Lawyers reading Drake's lyrics aloud in a courtroom, line by line, asking him to explain his own taunts under oath. If Drake had half the advisors he pays for, somebody would have flagged this before the appeal got filed. He didn't catch it because he doesn't read between the lines, he just pays people to bill hours. And this one's quiet but deadly. The cover art and the video. Drake's new brief specifically complains about the song's ubiquitous cover art, and the subsequently released viral video. Remember what that cover art allegedly was? An aerial shot of Drake's Toronto mansion, the embassy, reportedly marked up with the kind of icons used on predator registry maps. Drake's lawyers putting that image into a federal appellate brief means that artwork is now permanently attached to American case law. Every law student, every journalist, every future biographer pulling this case file will see it. He took a troll job from the beef and made it a legal document. That's the problem with Drizzy. He keeps trying to delete things by suing them, which just engraves them deeper. The Streisand effect with a court stamp. Listen to what he didn't do because silence is evidence too. He never named Kendrick. Not as a defendant, not in the original complaint, not in the appeal. Now ask yourself why. If an artist genuinely believed a factual crime was alleged against him, the person who wrote and performed the words would logically be target number one. Instead, the case was engineered around the label's promotion, the playlist, the marketing, the licensing for the Super Bowl and the Grammys. Forensically, that tells you the legal theory was never really about the words. It was about the machine, allegedly arguing UMG artificially amplified the song through bots and payola-style tactics, claims his team reportedly raised and UMG flatly denied. So strip it down. This lawsuit at its core is allegedly about playlisting and marketing spend. The biggest character assassination claim in rap history is Under the Hood, a contract dispute with extra steps. And Drake thought nobody would notice that? Now let's see how the media covered all this. Now here's where the narrative warfare gets loud because every outlet framed this differently, and the framing tells you who won the culture, not just the courtroom. BBC framed the October 2025 dismissal as a straight verdict on the art form itself. Their coverage leaned on the judge's war of words language and the non-actionable opinion holding, essentially telling a global mainstream audience, this was rap being rap, case closed. That's the BBC, man. When the British Broadcasting Corporation is explaining battle rap law to the world and Drake is on the losing end of the explanation, the story has fully escaped his control. Rolling Stone, meanwhile, framed the appeal as a precedent fight, spotlighting that dangerous categorical rule argument and treating this like a First Amendment-adjacent case that could reshape diss tracks forever. Their framing gives Drake's legal theory a fair hearing, sure, but notice what they also did. They republished UMG's Salve His Wounds quote and the whole battle timeline in the same breath. Even when covering his appeal, the story structure makes him look like the guy who provoked a fight and sued when he lost. The framing gods are not with this man. Then you got the hip-hop outlets, and that's where it's a massacre. XXL and Hot New Hip Hop covered the tour record by just reporting numbers and letting the comments do the roasting. No spin needed when the figure reportedly passes $332 million against the record he set. And over on the social side, it's open season. When that clip of the game circulated saying rap is suffering without Drake being fully outside, the comment sections weren't debating it, they were celebrating the exile. Remember those receipts from earlier? The judge's own words, the label's own words? The media didn't have to frame any of that harshly. The documents frame themselves. Now let's address the counter-narrative, because I hear it in my comments every single day. The Drake faithful, and I see y'all say, he's still the most streamed rapper alive, his numbers didn't die, the beef didn't hurt him, Iceman charted, y'all are exaggerating. And look, some people claim the whole lawsuit is actually 4D chess, keep the story alive, stay the main character, any press is good press. But here's why that doesn't hold up. Streaming totals are a decade-deep catalog. Nobody's arguing his old music vanished. The question was never did Drake's dreams survive. It's did his position survive. And on every battlefield that decides position, head-to-head records, the Grammy stage, the Super Bowl stage, the touring record, and now the federal courts, he is zero for everything. Being rich and being right are different things. His supporters are reaching, pointing at Spotify counters like that's the scoreboard. Nah. The culture keeps score in moments, and every single moment for 2 straight years has Kendrick's name on it. If you still think this is cap after all the receipts we just walked through, the ruling, the label statement, the tour numbers, the callback finding, you're not a fan, you're just biased. And that's okay, just say it with your chest. But here's what nobody is saying. Here's what nobody is talking about. The beef did not damage Drake's legacy. The lawsuit did. And that's the take the mainstream won't touch because it makes everybody uncomfortable, including the media outlets profiting off both sides. Hear me out. Hip-hop has forgiven battle losses 100 times. Jay-Z lost rounds to Nas and is arguably bigger than ever. Pusha T exposed a whole child and Drake's streams went up the next year. The culture's rule has always been simple. You can lose the war, just lose it standing up. Take the L, drop a better album, move on. That's the historical pattern and Drake knew it, he lived it. He survived the Pusha T situation precisely because he never ran to anybody for help. He just kept making hits until people got tired of holding the L against him. But here's the real story. The lawsuit broke the one commandment the culture actually enforces. No paperwork. Not snitching to police paperwork, something subtler. Using outside power to settle an inside score. Rap battles are supposed to be self-contained. Bars settle bars. The moment you invite a judge into a war of words, you tell the entire culture that your pen wasn't enough. And I don't care how his lawyers dress it up. It's a defamation claim about lyrics. A court filing asking the government to evaluate whether a diss track crossed a line. In a genre literally built on diss tracks. That's not a legal strategy, that's a confession. And remember that callback finding we broke down earlier? Here's the deeper layer from this angle. The judge essentially ruled that battle rap is a protected arena. Fiery rhetoric, hyperbole, no factual expectations. Drake's appeal is now trying to destroy that arena. Think about the precedent he's fighting for, man. If he wins, every diss track ever made becomes a lawsuit waiting for discovery. Hit 'em up? Lawsuit. No Vaseline. Lawsuit. Ether. See you in court. He is asking the Second Circuit to build a legal weapon that any bitter rapper can point at any rival's pen for the rest of time. The judge called his bluff and protected the art form. The appeal is literally an attempt to unprotect it. UMG called the suit an affront to all artists. And for once the corporation is right. Drake is out here trying to be the man who made battle rap litigious. That's not a legacy move, that's a legacy landmine. And the psychological warfare layer? Kendrick understood all of this from day one. Look at the discipline. 2 years of this. 2 years of being accused, sued around, performed at, subliminaled on Iceman. And Kendrick has reportedly never publicly addressed the lawsuit at all. Per BBC's own reporting, Lamar has yet to comment on the case. Not a bar, not a tweet, not an interview slip. Nothing. He let the judge talk. He let the tour numbers talk. He let 5 Grammys and a Super Bowl talk. That's not luck, that's a man who read his opponent's psychology like a children's book. He knew Drake's worst enemy was never a rival MC. It was Drake's inability to let anything go. Every move Kendrick made after May 2024 was a mirror. He just kept winning in public, knowing each win would bait the next cell phone. And it worked every single time. Drake's playing checkers, Kendrick's playing chess, and the board is the entire legal system now. And the realest part? The industry is quietly grateful to Kendrick, whether they say it or not. That ruling gave every artist in America a shield. The judge said on the record that audiences don't expect accurate factual reporting from a diss track replete with profanity, trash-talking, threats of violence, and figurative and hyperbolic language. Every rapper who ever writes a battle bar is safer today because of how this played out. Kendrick didn't just beat Drake. He accidentally became the culture's legal guardian. And Drake, whether he means to or not, is fighting on the other side of that. The biggest pop star rap ever produced on record against the freedom of the form that made him. And that's the truth they won't tell you. So what happens next? Alright, let's look forward, because this story is nowhere near done. And I can see roads from here. And honestly, the one legal experts reportedly lean toward. The Second Circuit upholds the dismissal sometime in late 2026 or 2027. Appeals courts don't love overturning pleading stage dismissals, and the reasoning in that 38-page order was built thick. If that happens, watch the fallout. The case law becomes gospel. Every future diss track is armored. and Drake will have spent 2+ years and reportedly millions in legal fees to cement the loss into American law. Not rap lore law. His name will be in textbooks. For the wrong reason. And at that point, does he appeal again to the Supreme Court? I don't think even he does that. But a year ago I didn't think he'd appeal this one, so who knows? The appeal partially works. The Second Circuit says a jury should hear it and sends the case back for trial. Now, the Drake camp will celebrate that as a win, and technically it would be. But y'all think about what a trial means. Discovery. Internal UMG emails about playlisting and marketing for both artists. Depositions. Label executives under oath. Possibly Kendrick-adjacent witnesses. And that AI track, that cover art. Every ugly lyric from both sides read aloud in a courtroom while every blog on earth live tweets it. Winning the right to a trial might be the most expensive victory of his life, because a trial doesn't end the humiliation, it schedules it. My honest prediction? If it ever gets sent back, this settles quietly with sealed terms and a joint statement nobody believes. Too many people with too much to lose on both sides of that label. And this is the one the culture actually cares about, the music. Drake's reportedly locked in on his post-Iceman chapter, and if the appeal fails, expect him to do what he's always done after public damage, flood the market. New music, big features, maybe finally the direct response record some fans still swear is coming. Meanwhile, Kendrick's machine shows zero signs of slowing. After a record-shattering tour and a shelf of new trophies, whatever he drops next will arrive with the biggest gravitational pull in the genre. And here's my boldest prediction. I think within the next year, the narrative flips from the beef to the appeal, and Drake ends up beefing with the concept of the ruling more than with Kendrick. The subliminals will keep coming, y'all. Iceman already proved he can't leave it alone. He'll be 45 still sending shots at a battle the judge closed. One more thing to watch. UMG's response briefs and any oral arguments at the Second Circuit, because if Kendrick ever breaks his silence, I promise you it won't be in an interview. It'll be on wax on a random Friday with zero warning. That's his whole pattern. And when that happens, we'll be right here day one breaking down every single bar. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed uncovering the real story, smash that like button and hit subscribe so you never miss when we expose what everyone else is too scared to say. Ring that bell for notifications. And if you want more truth bombs like this, click on one of these videos next. Trust me, you'll want to see what we found.